Hello friends, in this occasion I will show you a new package that I made named Firecrawl Extract Text of Page as Markdown. Well, this package is very useful because you can basically extract the text from a web page without any extra stuff. What does that mean? Well, for example, consider this example. Google Cloud documentation page. You can see that we have a lot of text. We have a menu on the top, we have a search box, we have some login elements, we have different menus of the page, we have elements that maybe when you are trying to extract text for doing, for example, a blog post or for retrieving ideas for another step in a workflow, well, you don't need all this stuff, because if we inspect the source code of this page, you can see that we have a lot of extra stuff that you don't want. And for example, if you are using an LLM, for example, OpenAI, and you want to make a summary, for example, if you send all this information to the service, well, it will consume a lot of credits. So this solution lets you to extract only the main information of the page. The service is named Firecrawl, dev, excuse me for my bad English. So you can register on this page. This service is going to give you some free credits monthly. I think that there are 100 credits monthly, free monthly credits that you can use with this service. And the way in which it works basically is that you input an URL. In this case, we're going to input the URL of the page that we are looking as an example. We're going to run this example, and you can see that the output is very few lines of text. We can basically copy the code, we can preview the result, and you can see that we have very few lines of text as difference of the source code that we saw on the example. So we extract only the main text of the web page, which is very useful if you are building a page that uses some sort of text extraction of a web page. As I said before, you have to create an account, and it will give you some free credits. In my case, I think that there are 500 credits free for every month that you can use. We have here my uses in this example. And then you have to go to API keys. You have to copy the key that the service provides you. I don't remember if you have to create an API key or they give you a default API key. If you don't have any API keys, you just click on create API key button and then copy the code. After doing that, you can go to the Firecrawl package. You have to go first to keys, and in keys you input the information, select a custom service new key as the domain. You can input, for example, let's go to the playground. Okay, let's go to options. Let me see, where is the documentation for the web page? I have some page. Let me check it, please. Okay, I can't remember, but basically what you can do is place a virtual token, and then you go to the API keys, you copy the code and paste the API key. The service, if you want to see exactly which is the URL that we are using, you can see here at the documentation. You can open any of the examples and you can copy this URL, for example. Then go to the site, and in the domain element you place the firecrawl.dev URL and then save a key. And with that information, you can go to the package, the Firecrawl package. And how does this package work? Well, in first place, you have to input a web URL, that is the URL in which you want to extract the text. It's a text input type. Then we have an HTTP request node in which we basically are we are calling this URL, that is part of the documentation. If you go to the documentation of Firecrawl, you can see that in the curl request we can see which is the URL that we have to request for this to work. That is a post URL, a post call. So we return to the service. This is the URL. It's a post method. In the keys and values, we have to specifically place that a key is needed, that is content type, and value application JSON, that is rendered as a header value. And also we need to specify at the body that the URL is the web URL that the user is inputting, and the format is markdown, so that we retrieve the markdown of the web page. That's all that you need. Later, when we make the request, the HTTP request, what we have to do is to parse the response from the service, and basically we expose markdown response, that is the response from the service, as environment with tags. And in the code section, we're going to declare a variable named response that is equal to json.parse input. This is to us that we can handle the response, the JSON response from the server, and we can basically retrieve the data dot markdown response, that is the property that interests to us, the markdown text that we want to display to the user, or that we want to basically use in another node, for example, on a workflow. And finally, we have a finished node in which we use extract markdown, that is the result of the JSON runner, and we save it is as result.txt. I think that we can make a modification to return it or save as MD, for example. And it's very important that you formatted it as markdown to HTML, so that we have a correct displaying in case that we want to display it in some way. We now have everything ready. I'm going to run the package. We're going to use the documentation of packages, for example, docs.packages.com. If some of you don't know, this is documentation of the packages software. We're going to select a node, for example, an example of the Google node. Let's copy this URL. I'm going to paste this URL, run package. Okay, the execution is really fast. Okay, it finished. And you can see that the render or the result of this package execution is this information that we see here, that only contains the really important information. It don't have any JavaScript code or HTML code. We only have the specific information that interests us, and that is going to make possible to make some request, a cheaper request to AI services, to LLM services, like for example OpenAI. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope that this package is useful to you. See you in the next video.